Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emmanuel Itoje, and thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. Before we actually go into this video, please kindly use the subscribe button and like the video, comment and share with as many that will need it. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at create and manage mail content. So what are the outlines I'll be looking at today? So for our video today, we'll be looking at what are mail content, then how is mail content different from a mail user. Then we'll look at use case for mail content, then the permission needed to create mail content. Then we'll also look at a live demo on how to create the mail content itself, how to modify the mail content itself, then how to remove the mail content if you actually do not need the contact in our organization. So what are mail contacts? So mail contacts are mail enabled objects that contains information about people who exist outside our organization. So we have organizations, we have users, that these are the people that we've employed, our employee in the organization, that we've created a mailbox. They have the username and the password. But in the case of mail contacts, they are people that are actually outside our organization. They are not people within the organization. And we'll see in the upcoming session for the slide how these users are actually, different from the mail user itself, because they are actually mail enabled objects. So mail contacts, they have external email address, but the mail contact is visible in your organization shared address book, which is also known as the global address list or GAL and other address lists. So for this user, basically, they have external email address. They are not email address to your organizations. So this email address that the user has is actually visible in your organization shared address book, which is a global address list. So how is a mail contact different from a mail user? So a mail users are users with an email address in your organization's domain. Now, this mail users is actually also different from users, because for users, you need to actually assign a license to them. They are people that you employ in your organization. But the mail users, they have email address in your organization's domain, but they are not actually users in your company. So whereas mail contacts on the other hand, they have email address outside of your organization's domain. So your domain is not attached to their email address at all. Why for the mail users, your organization's domain is actually attached to their email address. Then we'll look at what is the use case for a mail contact. So organizations can actually, use our mail contacts in various scenarios. For example, if you need to send emails to someone outside of your organization, but you don't want to create user account for them in your organization's directory. So there are people, maybe they are vendors that you work with, or customers or partner that you work with in your organizations. You can actually create a mail contact for them. So with this mail contact, you can use it to send them emails. You're not actually adding them to your organization's directory, but you need a way to actually communicate with this individual. So one of the use case for this is to actually create them as a mail contact. And another use case, for example, you have a lot of you're a business that you service a lot of clients, and you need to send them bulk SMS. With this mail contact, you can actually create a distribution list for them, and every users, maybe partners, customers, you create different distribution lists for them using the same mail contact, and you're able to send maybe promotional offers. You're able to send greetings. Maybe you want to wish them a happy new month, or happy new year and happy Christmas, any of them. So this is another use case for a mail contact. So what are the permissions needed to create a mail contact? So first and foremost, if you don't have the required license, like the Exchange Online Plan 1 or Plan 2, or have any subscription that has those licenses, you will not actually in the first place have access to even the Exchange Admin Center where this mail contact need to be created. So the permissions required, basically there are three of them. The first one is the person that needs to create the mail contacts will actually be a member of a recipient management group. So any user that has been assigned to this role group, which is the recipient management role group, the user will have permissions to manage recipients such as mailboxes, mail users, mail contacts. And the other permission that is needed is the organization management role groups. So for any user that is assigned this role group, we have the permission to manage actually all aspects of Exchange Online, including recipients, policies, and configuration settings. Then the last permission required is what we know as the mail recipients role. So users who are members of this role, they have permissions to create and manage mail contacts as well as other recipient types such as mailbox, distribution group, and resource mailboxes and the likes. All right, so let's jump into a live demo. So we need to actually navigate to our office.com, or you say portal.office.com. Then you sign in with an admin account. And remember, I said that you must actually have the Exchange Online license or subscriptions before you even be able to create the mail contact or anything like that, before you have access to the Exchange Online admin center itself. So when we're going to create this is on the Exchange Online admin center. So to go there, first of all, we need to go to the admin. So clicking on the admin tab takes us to the Microsoft 365 admin center. And in Microsoft 365 admin center, we are able to navigate into various other parts of the admin center by first clicking on show all. So once you click on show all under the admin center here, so if you have the required license, which is the Exchange Online, either plan 1 or plan 2, or you have a subscription that has the Exchange Online plan 1 or plan 2, example is a small business, either you have Microsoft 365 Business Basic or Microsoft 365 Business Standard or Microsoft 365 Business Premium. So those subscriptions actually have Exchange Online license. So we're going to click on the Exchange. So with this Exchange now, it's going to take us to the new Exchange Admin Center. So we used to have a classic and a new. So in the classic has been retired. So now what we have is the modern or the new Exchange Admin Center. So under the recipient types here, you're going to see contact. You click on contact. So at the point of contact, so it will tell you that contacts are people outside the organization that you would like everyone to be able to find. So anyone listed here can be found in Outlook under people in Microsoft 365. So when you're signing into your Outlook applications or Outlook on the web, you'll be able to see anybody that has been added here. So first of all, before we create a mail contact, I want us to create a mail user so that we can see the difference. So we'll click on add a mail user here first. So when you click on add a mail user, so let me create the email user. Let me call the user James. The last name, let me call them Clark. Then the initial, let me just use JC. Display name, let me use James Clark for this. So the external email address of this user. So I can, so let me use any email address for the user, james.clark@gmail.com as the external email address. So the alias here, let me just use James as the alias. Now the user ID, I can put James.Clark depending on what I want. Now, remember, for the external email address here, I have james.clark@gmail.com, which is the external email address of this user. Is a Gmail, a personal account. Now, for the user ID for this user, because this user will be able to sign in. So for this, we're going to have, it gives me the option to select my domain. So I have the on Microsoft domain, which is a default domain that was created when I created the tenant. Then I have this mycloudonline.hub. So this is the domain that I actually added as a custom domain in this tenant. So that is the domain I'm going to give the user. Then I'm going to create a password. So let me just create in the password. I'm not signing into this user. So once that is done, I'll click on next. So this is the external email address. Why this is the email address of the users. Then I'll click on create. I'll say never here. So it tells me that the mail user creation is successful. So once that is done, we just click on down here. So under the list, it's going to show us that user James Clark has been created and the contact type is a mail user. is an external. So the email address that is showing for this user is the external email address that I actually created. So you have to take note of that. So we can go back. This is not what we're doing. What we need is so I can actually delete it if I don't want to use the contact again. Let me go back to contact. So let's create a mail contact now. Go back home, click on contact. So I want to add a mail contact. So if you remember, for the mail user, it gives us the option to actually create the user ID for the user in case of a mail user. But let's see for a mail contact. So click on mail, add a mail contact. So let me just put the first name as Kelvin and put the last name as Stone. Initial, let me put KS as initial. Then the display name, Kelvin Stone as a display name. So I can use anything as alias. So let me put Kelv as the alias. So now the only thing here is what is this is giving me is the external email address. So let me put Kelvin dot stone at gmail.com. kelvin.stone@gmail.com. Now for the mail contact, it's not giving me the option to actually create an email address for the user in my domain. So you will not see it there. So we go to next. So the next is going to tell us to set up our mail contact, which is actually optional. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to do it in the next demo. So I'm going to click on next. So it's going to review for me the display name, the alias, the external email address. Then I can click on create. So once you click on create, to tell you the mail contact creation successful, then you can click on done. So we can see that Kelvin Stone that we created is still picking what the external email address here, while under the contact type it calls it mail contact. So there we have the mail user that we created, which is James Clark, and we have the Kelvin Stone, which is the mail contact. So they are different in the sense that I created a user ID again for the mail user, while for the mail contact there was something like creating the user ID in my domain and also creating a password for it. So the next thing we're going to do in the demo for this mail contact here, we want to modify some things, we want to add some other information. So how do we do that? So what you can do is that you can click on the Kelvin, then click on the personal information here. So for the personal information, I have the option to edit the contact information and also the organization information. So I click on contact information here, for example now. So I have the option to put the website. Let me say the website is www.kelvinstone.com. So if I have the fax information, I can put the fax phone number. If I have the home number, I can put the home number, the mobile number. Let's say the mobile number is 081. Just put a number, then office. So if you have the office address, you can put the office address here. If you have the city, the state, the province, then the zip code, all the information. Then you save this. So that is going to update the contact information for you to tell you contact updated successfully. Then also under the organization information there, so you can update information such as the title is the IT manager for the organization. Department is in information technology, which is IT. Then the company, so is it the company, let's see, is from this company. Then does it have a manager? So we have the option to, if you want to browse, select, okay, this is a person that we're managing the user. Maybe I have the information of the manager, for example now. So let me select this as the manager, then click on add, then I can click on save here. So it will tell me that organization updated successfully. Then we can click on the back button, so I'll be able to see these are the organization information. This is a manager, so this is the contact information. So if I have other information, maybe the phone number or so, I can put it there. So those are the things you can do for a mail contact basically. So if I don't want this, maybe we are no longer in partnership, or it's no more my customers, or it's no longer a vendor to our organization, I can actually delete the mail contact. by simply selecting the content and hitting the delete content here, or I can just use the delete content here. So there are two ways: either I use this delete here or I use this delete there after selecting the content. So that's it for this video. Please, if you have any feedback for me, you can drop them in the comment section down below. And also feel free to share this video, for people that will be interested in. So thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. I really appreciate you. And see you in the next video. Bye for now.